Hey everyone, and welcome to PGN Live. It is December 16th, 2025. Now officially past halfway for December. Yeah, that was weird. Now officially past halfway done with December. Welcome, anyways, to another episode. I'm going to open up my pop up chat in just a moment, see who is in here. Welcome you all on this hopefully good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are located in the world. Anyways, we've got some exciting news to go over today, mainly being the subject title Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrade, demo out now on Nintendo Switch 2. Who has downloaded it so far? What do you think? Are you going to check it out? Do you have the game pre-ordered? Is this something that was needed for you to see this is for me, or no, this is not quite my jam? I played the game originally. Most of it played on the PS5, so I played the PS4 version ramped up, played the Yuffie expansion, but I do have this Nintendo Switch 2 build pre-ordered. I think it's a really good deal. It is a game key card title, yes, but if you pre-order it, you also get the original Final Fantasy VII release on eShop, which is nice, and you get a pack of Magic the Gathering crossover Final Fantasy VII Remake playing cards in the package itself. So, some kind of nice things, some extra value added. But if you're buying it primarily for the game itself, you're getting a really good quality game. And I think if you like RPGs, action games, action RPGs, titles that visually are impressive, games with a nice cast, a diverse cast, good voice acting, iconic music, well-known characters that have stood the test of time since 1997, villains as well. This is a solid entry to get on Nintendo Switch 2. Let's see who's here though. We've got Mattia saying hi there. Steak1024 saying hey Paul in chat, hey Steak. Tall Show saying just got your book in and read it. I really smiled at the page where it mentioned Smokey the cat. I too had a Siamese cat named Smokey. Ah, that's cool. Well, thank you, Tall Show. I'm glad that you got the book in. Physical copy, right? You said you got the physical copy. I mean, I guess that would make sense because if it just came in, it wouldn't be the digital one because that's just there. So, cool. Oh, thanks a lot. Where is it? There we go. Tall Show has a copy of Lee's Great Adventure. Thank you so much. I'm happy that you got it. I'm very pleased to hear that you liked it. That means a lot. Yes, you got the physical one. Awesome. That's cool. Only thing I can't do is sign it for you, I guess, right? If you would want it signed even, but digital signature. Psht. Psht. No, I'm grateful. Thank you very much. Amazon, right? It's available on multiple spots. I think you could get it like Walmart, eBay, Amazon, Kindle, which I guess is an Amazon product, iOS, Google Play, I think Borders, Barnes & Noble maybe, Trafford. I think I said Walmart earlier, right? Yeah, but Amazon is like the big one where I think the bulk of them. Hold on, let me put a copy against my phone. Yeah, I'll take digital pin. Pop it through there. Now that's really cool. Thanks a lot. Did you write a review? You know what? I haven't looked. I mean, I don't look every day. Let me see. Let me see. If you did write a review, thank you extra for doing that. I will look and see if there is a new review. Reviews don't come by every day for the book. You know, it's a small kind of book, but it still gets new buys here and there, including new reviews once in a while. Trying to look under like recent reviews. Well, if you also wrote a review, thank you times two, Tall Show. Oh, I haven't done a review yet, but maybe later. Okay, cool. Well, no, well then, thank you in advance, possibly for your future review. That's cool. It looks like there are 48. Yeah, that sounds about right. Like what I last recall, 48. Almost 50. That's kind of neat. That's a little goal right there. Can the book hit 50 reviews? We'll see. We'll see. Steak, Paul, did you do an audiobook version of you reading it? No, I didn't. The book did have, however, a professional voice actress read the book out as Lisek because the character's narration is from the dog's point of view. And this was a version that was made for specifically the iOS app of Lisek's Great Adventure, but I don't think you could get the iOS app version of it. So the book was always available since it came out in the digital era. It was always available both as a physical book and a digital download. However, there was one extra version called the iOS app version in which you could like take the pages, turn them black and white, color them. You could take the images, break them up into puzzles so you could rearrange them into like the proper image. And, you know, good for kids, good for anybody that wants a little bit of extra entertainment. Coloring option, puzzle option, and then a voice actress that enthusiastically read the book to you. But, you know, not my voice. One of these days, I mean, the book's been out for so long, it would potentially detract people from buying the book themselves. But the cool factor would be, you know, me doing like a book reading and making a YouTube video out of it. Like a 2-camera shot, me holding the book, flipping, and a different shot, maybe that I would film in 2 different ways and then overlay them so it's like a picture-in-picture kind of thing of the image per page always on screen and the words clearly lined beneath it with either my finger tracking along so folks could read along with, but that way they could see like both the image and me reading. Like that would be fun. I have thought about that. I mean, then there goes the need for people to like buy the book if I'm being read it to, but maybe not. Maybe some people are like still of the thought of, oh no, it would be cool to have it. I don't know. Good question though, Steak. Matt says, funny enough, I also used to have a cat named Smokey. I just actually let him in our house when we lived in Arizona, and no one claimed him, and he became our pet for several years. That's cute. Corey Boehm, sorry I'm late joining the Gale Force today. Actually, Corey, you're pretty much on time. I mean, we've been here for 9 minutes. I think that comment was a couple of minutes ago, so you're good. Hard truth. I have never played Final Fantasy. What type of game is FF7 Remake? It's an RPG, but I would say, it's an action RPG. It has a battle time system more comparable to, I don't want to call it Zelda like, but in a way more comparable to Zelda than Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII was time based. I hit you, you hit me, rinse and repeat. We take our times hitting each other. Not to dumb down the RPG turn based formula, but that is essentially it. Whereas, an action game, an adventure game, you are actively running around, blocking, parrying, sword swinging, rolling out of the way, etc. There is some time based elements to Final Fantasy, but it plays very much more live and action oriented like a Zelda than its original version. That being said, it's third person perspective, behind the shoulder kind of slash, angled, beautiful scope, magic, cool cast of characters, some epic iconic music, big boss battles, leveling up your character, having that satisfying da 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 da, casting fire, casting ice, casting gale force winds, attaching little notches of materia to the different characters in your party, which are all really fleshed out nicely. You've got mainstays like Red 13, Tifa, of course, Cloud, Aerith, Barrett, Sephiroth, iconic boss, baddie. Yeah, super good game. Carlton-san, this is the first time I'm hearing that Paul wrote a book. Yeah, Carlton-san. This book right back here. Man, my chair's in the way. I think I moved my camera a little bit too much today. That's it. Lisek's Great Adventure. Hey, you know what? I should drop it in the chat. I mean, why not? I guess, right? Let's see. Lisek's Great Adventure. Yeah. That's my book right there. WillTat01, you look familiar like another YouTube channel? Okay. Maybe I do. Tony Kaname Kuran. Paul, I have 3 words for Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrade demo on Switch 2. Best demo ever. Oh, that's a good thing. Jordan Andrews, hey everyone, hey there. Lily Young, hi peeps, hi there. That was the Wild West of the iOS App Store back in the day. Yeah, it was cool. The book came out in 2012, July. And that iOS version was available for quite some time until I don't think you could just download it anymore. Jordan Andrews says, I see you passed your 100,000 view goal of the Super Mario teaser video. Yeah, it's like 105,000 or something, 110. Woo! Wow, we hit 110 on the Mario one, and the Street Fighter one hit 1,500. So there goes that 100,000 and that 1,000 goal. You know what? I should have got water beforehand. 18 people watching now, 13 minutes into the stream. We're already hot. We're already off to a good start. I don't want to kill the momentum, but I really should have grabbed some water to drink beforehand. I'll be right back. Hopefully the chat doesn't go bye-bye in the next minute or so. I don't have a video ready. That's too short. Okay, I'll be right back. 1 second. Alrighty. Somehow, the chair boosted up views to 20 people watching now. Welcome to PGN Live. I mean, I was only able to get 18 people in here. The chair got 20. So, Carlton-san saying, hey, chair.
Hey.
Any thoughts on the video game awards?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, chair thought it was pretty good. The chair really loves to hog the attention from the book. Right. Maybe I need a better spot for the book. Or move the chair over or change the camera angle. Corey Bohm with the $2. Woot! How's it going, Chair Gale? Big thank you, Corey Bohm.
Oh, wow, magnificent today. Thank you very much, Corey Ball.
Now, the chair apparently says magnificent and thank you very much. Well, Chair, I'm glad to hear that you are doing magnificent today. That's really good. Thank you, Corey, for the awesome, generous $2 getting us on the board here. Boom. Super cool start. Thank you so much. I know there are some more people that I didn't get to shout out just yet. Tabby Cat Game says, cool, got book on wish list. Love kids books. Oh, well, thank you. You know, we're not really talking too much video games right now. Actually, no, I take that back. We talked about Final Fantasy VII Remake, and which hopefully we will continue talking about it. But I could tell you a little behind the scenes of how the book came to be. This is a little behind the scenes, I guess. Without giving too much away of the story either. But I had a real dog named Lisa, and I had her when I was 5 years old. I got her for my 5th birthday. And she unfortunately passed away when I was 12. So I didn't have her that long, but I loved that dog so much. I don't want to get emotional on the screen, on stream and stuff like that, but yeah. Naturally cried, sad. I mean, you cry. You're sad when you lose a pet as an adult. Doesn't really matter if you're a kid, adult, any age. But here I was, 12-year-old boy, lost my dog. Devastated. I wanted to preserve her memory because I was worried that I wouldn't remember her. I had this thought as a kid that I'm losing her so early in life that what if I don't remember her? I want to hold on to her forever. I should write a book. I should write a book about her thoughts and how she viewed me. How I thought she viewed her life from her perspective. My mom and dad were super supportive of it. My mom over the years would tell me, you should write the book. I could write fairly well as a kid, I guess. I used to love drawing, and I could draw all right too, as 12, 13, 14-year-old, etc. But, life caught up. You get a little bit busier in school, you get a little bit busier in martial arts, in scouting, in studying, in life distractions, in another pet, family, etc. And slowly but surely, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years went by, more time went by. I always had the story in the back of my mind. I always had the general flow, the ideas, how I wanted it to go, elements, making it a true to life story, but told a little bit larger than life to make it more fun. I kind of had in the mind that it would be a kid's book since I was a kid at the time, but that the book would have a little bit of a different spin on it in terms of the length of time that she was around, and just a faithful book that did the dog justice, but also more fun for like a kid to read. Finally, a choice couple of events happened in January of 2012 And I wrote the book that weekend. Locked the doors, went to the computer, and just started writing. Wrote it. Type, 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 type. Went out, took the photos to which how I wanted the book to look. Have an artist work on it. Because at this point, even though I wasn't a professional author, my writing ability was closer to where it should be to have a book published than my own art ability. Could I have still drawn it? Could I have still been the illustrator for the book as an adult? Yeah, but it'd be more forgiving if I was a kid who wrote and drew it than an adult who wrote and drew it, you know? And the book, I got a publisher, ISBN, the whole deal, and came out that July. So from when I finally wrote it, 16 years later after Lisek passed, and I had this idea in my mind for a decade and a half, finally, in just 3 days, one weekend, wrote it, and then it came out 6 months later. So now it's kind of wild because that was already 13 years ago. That's really wild to think. It was 16 years between when I had the idea to write the book and wrote it, and then now 13 years from when the book came out to present. So it's approaching the same amount of time. That's just how time flies by. Anyways, that's a little bit of the behind the scenes on the makings of the book. And yeah, it exists to this day. When I wrote the book, it was before I was married, before I had kids. It's neat that I got married and, you know, had kids after the book came out because the book has gotten to have an even longer life. I mean, even, you know, I was able to fulfill a childhood goal in writing it. But then able to read it to my kids in their classes over the years and to my students. And yeah, it had a longer life since it came out. And I'm appreciative of that. Such a sweet story. Thank you. My aunt wrote a book, and I used to be her sounding board. Cool. Paul, you didn't overfeed her treats, did you? No. She was a little half beagle, half pug. Little chubby. But good. Pokemon Fan 34, hi there. Going to eat and we'll be back. Cool. Enjoy your lunch. J Biggs, Mr. NY for life. Hey, everyone in the Galeverse. Hey there, J Biggs. Welcome, welcome. Tall Show saying that video blew up big time. Congrats. Yeah, thank you. Considering FF7, but unsure. Thanks for answering. You're welcome. I think I'm caught up. Maybe Hyrule Warriors style? Oh, it's not as hack and slashy as Hyrule Warriors. No. Not quite like that, but I mean, I'd definitely say check out the demo. Yeah, if you were curious, check out the demo. It's free. Yeah. YouTube's a funny thing. Call it algorithm, call it, you know, whatever you want, but look how certain things are side by side, yet so different in the total views. Street Fighter, 1,500. Mario, 110,000. Supergirl, 150. 150. Multiply it by 10, and you have the Street Fighter one. So from Supergirl to Street Fighter, that's a 10 times multiplier right there. And then you go from Street Fighter to Super Mario Galaxy, 1,500 to 110,000. Gosh. That's like big gap. Yeah. The shorts have been doing well, I think. You've got the Wolverine shorts. These are pretty fun.
You picked the wrong day to drag me into this mess, bub.
Anybody like the Wolverine shorts?
You gotta fight harder than that, rookie.
These are fun.
I've scrapped with the best pal, and you ain't it. Got a problem, bub? Talk to the claws.
The easiest content to make this year, I think, was a combination of either the Logan shorts, these Wolverine ones, or the Chuck Norris ones. I mean, the Chuck Norris ones, I filmed a bunch when I had the beard, and I just did Chuck Norris memes. The Logan one, while I also had the beard, I dyed the beard, you know, silver, gray, put on a little suit, and I looked like Hugh Jackman from the Logan film. And these Wolverine shorts, while I still had the beard, I just shaved this part like Wolverine typically has, and there you go. Ash Gaming 17 with the big dollar holla. Thank you, Ash Gaming 17, so much for that awesome dollar, bringing us up to... I heard some noise outside. Bringing us up to $3 for the day. Thank you very much. Awesome to see the support. Oh, I put 17. 1. Ash Gaming 17 with the dollar. I am grateful for that. Thank you very much. Oh, let's see. I like to have it alternating, right? Let's make this one red. And let's make this one green. Something like that. Ah. There we go. That looks good. That looks good. Thank you, Ash. We're at $3 today. We've got 18 people watching now. I don't know how many likes, but it looks like it's comparable. 18 watching and 19 likes. Heck yeah. I like those numbers. Thank you so much, everybody. Tabby loved the Logan shorts. Thank you. Janine Harris. Hey, everyone. Matthew has entered the Galeverse. Welcome on in. Alexis does Roblox and Go Animate. Can you show me the sword? This one? Yes. This Master Sword. Awesome sword. I like it. You know, I have a steel Master Sword, but they've got some really good quality metal ones that are like perfect, spot on. That's not the steel one that I have. Oh, mine is relatively inexpensive, but still gets the job done. Still looks good. Is cool to wield around. Is fun. You know, good for some cosplay shots. Flaming Master Sword, etc. This Proplica one is cool. This one's like perfect size replica of Link's real sword. It's just plastic. But yeah, I've seen some swordsmiths out there make really good quality life-size metal Hylian shields and Master Swords that look like, okay, that's like a $3,000 product. Woo! That would be cool to have. But yeah, that's not what these are. Sorry if I can't stay long. I have schoolwork to do. That's okay. Good luck with your schoolwork. I hope it goes well. Yvonne Francois says, hi, everyone. Hi, Yvonne. Oh, I played the demo at like 3 a.m. when I heard it was on Switch 2. Cool. Egomaniac 87. Tall Show playing the FF7 Remake Integrade demo now. Awesome. Oh, hi, Paul. I am so upset about the Probleka Master Sword. Oh no. Why is that, Alexis? Why are you upset about it? I like it. Hmm. You're welcome. Janie. Mm-mm-mm. Mitch Beggle. Hey, Paul. Hey, Mitch Beggle. Good to see you here. You know what? That makes me wonder. Are you going to buy... Okay. We'll see how this poll unfolds. Especially, we've got 32 people watching now. Are you going to buy Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrade on Nintendo Switch 2? Yes, and you already own it. Yes, and it'll be your first copy. Maybe, but yes, you will try the demo at least. Or no, it's not for you. I'm curious. I'm going to guess that no, it's not for me is the least popular choice because my vibe is that this is a really good quality game that people are going to dig. That even though it's 5 years old, this original base version came out in 2020. This is the souped up version with the better graphics, better lighting. It is on NS2. It is also portable. It is a big deal for big numbered new FF to be back on Nintendo. There is a storied past with FF7. You do have Cloud and Sephiroth in Super Smash Brothers, so there is a little bit of, adjacent interest there. So I think most people will either, be picking it up for the first time, double dipping to maybe a smaller extent, or at least trying the demo out for curiosity's sake. But we'll see how the poll unfolds. J Biggs, no, I hated Final Fantasy since NES. Well, there you go. We are a diverse group of gamers. Did you ever buy Sonic Racing Crossworlds for Nintendo Switch 2? No, I did not. Did you? I'm still not 100% convinced with the series myself. So far, 42%. That's the one that I thought was going to be first. Without knowing the exact order, I was like, I think yes, in general, some type of yes would be first, primarily being first copy. Because the likelihood of double dipping has got to be lower than first timers. I'm double dipping. I was considering not because I already own it, played through the Integrate content with Yuffie. Very satisfied with my experience. However, gosh, I think Best Buy had a cheaper than expected pre-order for it, and Best Buy randomly was giving out $10 certificates. So for some reason, the game was marked at a lower SKU than normal. I also use a certificate of theirs that they just gave randomly in my email. Like, that's cool. Not some gift card that I got from somebody or had lingering around or one that I bought myself, Plus a pack of cards, plus the original copy of FF7. And I'm like, overall, you're paying just a few dollars for the game. I'll double dip. and for the cultural significance of this release. Uh, if you were around in 1997 and you knew that, boy, there was a lot of beef that occurred in these days of Squaresoft leaving Nintendo after establishing the Final Fantasy franchise on NES, Famicom, Super Famicom, SNES, Game Boy, with Final Fantasy 1 through 6, Mystic Quest, all of that, and then boom, FF7. A big change to PlayStation. I mean, it was heated. That summer of 1997, you had on the Nintendo side, really, Star Fox 64 in June, Final Fantasy VII in August, GoldenEye 007 in August. And that was kind of it. And FF7's popularity was really hot. That a year later, now you have The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time and Metal Gear Solid on Nintendo 64 and Sony PlayStation respectively. So you've got this really fierce battle between the sides. So it's kind of a neat thing from a historical standpoint, seeing the Nintendo Switch nowadays get any game that it didn't get back in the day on it. Like what was once only on PlayStation or Sega Saturn, like Tomb Raider, that Tomb Raider trilogy, both of them came to Nintendo Switch. That Grand Theft Auto trilogy of 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, yeah, PS2 and the Xbox got it, but eventually it came to Nintendo Switch. Metal Gear Solid, plenty of MGS titles were on Nintendo Switch or on Nintendo platforms prior, but Nintendo Switch got everything that it never that it might have been missing out on before, you know? Croc, Spyro, the Dragon trilogy, Crash Bandicoot trilogy, Crash Team Racing. So Nintendo Switch really became this ultimate system of anything that might have come out in the past that skipped Nintendo is out here on Nintendo now. Meanwhile, all of the stuff over the years, yesteryear, that you played exclusively on Nintendo is still exclusive to Nintendo. You know, you don't have Zelda, Mario Kart, Star Fox on other platforms, right? So Nintendo Switch really became this amazing system to be this catch-all of everything. Roger Enyart, speaking of awesome things, awesome people, you're all awesome. But Roger, extra awesome shout out with the big $2. Yo, peeps. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday indeed. Thank you, Roger, for being here. Thank you for that awesome... What am I doing here? Awesome, generous, $2 contribution to the channel. I am grateful for it. We've got our nice alternating red and blue theme here. Looking kind of fun. And we're at 5 for the day. Thank you, Roger. Thank you, Ash. Thank you, Corey. Thank you all for being here. Joyce J saying, hey, Paul. Hey, y'all. We'll definitely be trying out the FF demo when I can. Heck yeah. I think you'll like it. I don't see why you wouldn't. I don't see why most people wouldn't. Unless it's really not a genre for you or something like that. Maybe if you... I mean, I guess that goes with anybody, but if you're really just into, like, fighting games, really just into realistic racers, like Gran Turismo or Forza or something like that, really into your yearly Madden, your yearly Call of Duty, your creative stuff with Roblox or Minecraft, really just into battle royales with the likes of jeez, Fortnite. Unless if you really are into something so specific and don't accept a lot of gaming, I kind of don't know why you wouldn't like Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate. Because it's comparable enough to enough other things that if you like Zelda, there's this cross-contamination, there's this cross-pollination. Not to say that it's like God of War or that it's like Horizon or that it's even a whole lot like Zelda or Xenoblade Chronicles. But there's enough similar aspects of the angles, the characters, the swords, the magic, the voice acting, the ensemble fun cast, the music, the bad guys, the mystery and intrigue, the map system, the navigating around, the type of controls, the pairing, like swords and magic and junk. Like, there's enough of that if you like one, there's a decent chance that you'll like more, you know? But maybe not for everybody, yeah. I remember when FF7 came out, the commercials tricked me. I thought that was the game. My little brother got FF7. When I saw the game, I said, that looks like trash. My friend wanted to borrow FF7. I gave it to him and never got it back. By the way, I hate turn-based games. Yeah. That could have been misleading. I mean, if you saw the commercials and you saw this beautiful FMV stuff, and then you look at the game and you're like, they're the little cheap, flat, super pixelated polygons that are way simplistic with big old blocky hands and not realistic features whatsoever on these pre-rendered backgrounds, and it's turn-based gameplay that's relatively slow compared to what else you were experiencing at the time. Like I said, in Star Fox 64 and GoldenEye 007, that, yeah, unless if you were really in it for the story or for the long haul, or like to get to the treat to unlock the FMV, yeah, you were experiencing a very different game than what some of the commercials were showing. That's true. That's funny. You love Fire Emblem, but plays differently. Yeah, Fire Emblem is a great series. Once again, though, that style of gameplay isn't for everybody. I like Fire Emblem, though. I'm looking forward to Fortune's Weave. Yeah. You love Spyro. Tomb Raider was pretty much the reason why I played PS1, and GTA 3 and Vice City was the reason why I played PS2. Hannibal Games, 8590. Never liked FF that much except 3 and 9. Okay. Characters and stories feel pretentious, and the combat is basic and repetitive. I played much JRPGs since the 90s. By 3, do you mean like 6, basically? I mean, when most people say 3, I assume they mean 6. But yeah. Awesome community. Yes, indeed. We have an awesome community here. With 33 people watching now, and I think over 20 likes. You're all really helping out the channel. Most people say 3. I assume. And I am grateful for it. Yeah, 25 likes, 36 watching. Awesome. It can be slow for some. Jet says, FF10 had a good combat system, but the characters, oh my gosh, sheesh. I liked FF10. I feel like 10 was the next big game to push the genre after 7. Probably back in the day, Final Fantasy VI showed how much depth you could have with an RPG, in addition to Chrono Trigger, really, with multiple endings, multiple characters, big beefy story. 7 was this paradigm shift because you had full motion video. 8 realized and took the FMV scene to another level, but didn't necessarily like elevate the genre. 9 refined certain things, but didn't necessarily elevate the genre, I would say. 10, however, going next gen, a simple thing is like voice acting. That was big. That brought a very movie-like characteristic to these FMVs, these cinema scenes, which were now outstanding in detail. Watch the scenes of FF10 and you look back at them today, and despite them being from like 24 years ago, they're still quite impressive. Whether people like the voice acting or not, that was big in the time. That DVD-ROM allowed developers to put a lot of content on a disc. It's interesting to see how genres blew up and what really helped elevate it. I would say that Xenoblade Chronicles was another big one on Wii. You've got along the way Persona 5 and Shin Megami Tensei 5. You've got Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which, in my opinion, is a tremendous game. One of my favorite RPGs of the last decade. Probably one of the top favorites of all time. And then you look at Clair Obscur Expedition 33 and how that's been faring. That's been, winning awards. Makes me wonder what else could Monolith Soft cook up, Whether they call their next game Xenoblade Chronicles 4, but it is known that at this point, this is the equivalent of Final Fantasy. The numbers don't necessarily mean much in combination with one another. Although Xenoblade Chronicles 1, 2, and 3 did have a overall overlapping story of sorts, Difficult to wrap everything around it. You didn't have to play all three in order or at all, and you could play each one independently. But yeah, would they go Xenoblade Chronicles 4, or would they switch it up like, previously Xenosaga, Xenogears, Xenoblade, now Xeno something else as a theme? Or forget the Xeno and it's just like, here's a new IP, here's this new protagonist, and it's just going to be this awesome, epic action adventure RPG. I don't know. I'm curious. I think Monolith Soft, probably they've been cooking for a while, and when they reveal whatever they've been working on, I don't doubt that it's going to be something quite impressive. I have a distinct memory of trying to get FF7 to work on my PS1. It would always freeze during the opening cutscene. I tried and tried and tried. That's frustrating. Johan, Nintendo News, PS4 is dead. In sales? I mean, it still sells like, in the dozens of units in Japan every week. But as far as a platform goes, gosh, it is pretty old at this point. Like, PS4 came out in 2013. That's 12 years old. But it still has some games being developed for it. A lot less than before, but not everyone has migrated over to like a PS5 yet. So you've still got people buying games for it, actively playing on it. Yeah. Also, FF15 was one of the best gaming experiences I've ever had. That's cool. Cannibal Games, yeah. FF6 on that one, yeah. Have you ever watched the TV show Ninjago? A little bit of it. Not during the time in which it was like out as a new program on TV, but years later, many years later, I guess, which was within the last few years, I've seen some with my kids and stuff like that. Welcome back, Pokemon Fan 34. Xenoblade Treasure Trackers. Mega Man will be on PS4 in 2027. Yeah, see, like, the fact that Mega Man is still coming. a brand new entry in 2027 on any platform that a big new Mega Man game's coming, that platform can't be dead, you know? Less support, yeah, but not fully gone yet. Like Nintendo Switch and PS4, they'll both be getting that Mega Man title 2 years from now. Depending on when in 2027, that will be a whopping 14 years into PS4's life. And for Nintendo Switch 1, it'll be a solid 10 years into its life. Difference being, PS4 reached its sales and it has basically flatlined. Yes, it's still selling in the dozens and the hundreds, but that's not enough to move the needle anymore to where you're getting a few 100,000 per quarter. Nintendo Switch is still in that several 100,000 per quarter territory, and it will hold on to that, at least until summer of 2027. Lego Ninjago is great. Looks at my still working PS4 Pro. I still play mine today. It certainly ain't dead, especially if devs keep making games for it to this day. Yeah, no, I don't think it's dead. In terms of like being an active new top selling console, sure. But not dead in terms of support. I'm looking to buy a PS4 for cheap. Still not enough on PS5 for me to buy it yet. Yeah, if you got yourself a PS4, even this late into the game, like let's say you didn't buy one the last 10 plus years, right? And you just bought one now, you could have yourself still quite a competent console. True, a lot of those PS4 games are also available on Nintendo Switch, like if you wanted to play Wolfenstein 2 or Doom, you could get a copy and have a great competent copy on NS. But for some games that never made it over, like you play yourself Grand Theft Auto 5, that's a PS4 game. That's a really good, big game that would last you a long time. So yeah, PS4 is still a good system if you're buying it for the first time. I'd probably recommend a PS5 over PS4 because that way you would get future exclusives like Wolverine and you'd get to play Spider-Man 2. But yeah, I guess I think this generation hasn't been the strongest for the likes of Sony and Microsoft in terms of their consoles with like an overwhelming amount of first-party exclusive support. And both systems are already 5 years old. That's why I think it's probably a little bit too early to be expecting a next Xbox or a PlayStation 6 at this point. Like, I think there's still some juice left in the tank, on those systems. Fully Mario Kart Double Dash come to NSO next year. That'd be cool. Mario Kart's an interesting one because when Nintendo is actively supporting, and no doubt they will continue to support, I'm sure of it, Mario Kart World, does something like Mario Kart Double Dash compete with themselves? Maybe. E. Samus Prime. Good afternoon, PGN. Nicer day for me today to be able to join and watch your stream. Thank you for being here, E. Samus Prime. Hope you're having a good day so far. Darren Nye says, hi, Paul. Hope you're okay. Thank you, Darren. Hope you're doing well, too. I bought my little brother a used PS4 last year, and it's been great. That's cool. Let's get to 30 likes. Heck yeah, I like that idea. J Views, sup, Paul? Loving the demo for FF7 so far. Runs really smooth. Have you seen... Oh, let's see. I'm on Nintendo's official page, so it won't be here. But I have seen, because today also dropped the Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrade demo on Xbox Series. And gosh, I love these photos that people have of both versions, and they say something along the lines of, Here's Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrade running on Nintendo Switch 2 and Xbox Series X. What do you think? Can you tell the difference? And it looks identical. Maybe if somebody is really combing through it or something, they'd be like, oh, yeah, maybe this was a little bit better. But, like, dude, what developers are capable of pulling off on Nintendo Switch 2 is really impressive. I mean, even Capcom with Pragmata was really impressed. And they've been working with the hardware since pre-launch with with Street Fighter 6, you know? So for Capcom to continuously be impressed with, dang, this looks good, and without a whole lot of effort, that's pretty wild. We have yet to untap all that Nintendo Switch 2 is capable of. As developers have more time with it, as they understand how to better make things from the ground up for it, how to port titles from other architectures out there on, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series to Nintendo Switch 2, utilizing more and more DLSS. Yeah, really, sky's the limit. Anything that Xbox Series S could do, Nintendo Switch could do, and for the most part, better. So as long as Xbox Series remains a viable platform, which even though it's not selling all that well, it's still getting games for it, you're going to have plenty of Nintendo Switch 2 games that are, big titles that are available across the board. Dude, you've missed out a lot in the past couple of years. Is PS4 still getting sports games? I spent around $150, including a Madden game. PGN, glad to see you finally shaved. I was about to get jealous of how amazing your beard looked. Well, thank you for the beard compliment. I'm sure your beard looks fine when you grow it out too. Yeah, I shaved November 30th at night. I did a final couple of little pictures and videos of Kratos, Logan, Wolverine shaved. And since then, it's been 16 days, but I have shaved a few times. So you can already see, this is a couple of days of stubble right here. If I just shaved that one night, November 30th, and then allowed 16 days of growth instead of what you see here is just a couple, 3 days maybe or something like that, it wouldn't be a beard yet, but it would be like a mini beard, like that 2.5 week mark, you could already see, oh, beard is growing back, eh? And then by the end of the year, like if it's January 1st and I didn't shave throughout the whole month of December, 4 weeks, okay. It's the vision is back on. I don't know when I'll do it again, but I think I will. I don't know if I'll go as long as I did before. I think I went 108 days without shaving last time. Aside from little trimming maintenance, little mustache kind of cutting back. But that was a pretty long beard. That was the longest I lasted. There were thoughts along the way of, gosh, do I go for a year? Can I handle it? Half a year? I guess I lasted a quarter of a year, 3.5 months or something. They found a few PS4s in the back rooms. Spawn wave every week for Famitsu sales data. That's funny. Yeah, it's true, Steak 1024. It hasn't left the Famitsu charts. Not yet, at least. I like your shirt, thank you. My wife got me this one. Can never have enough Mario shirts. My wife's parents actually just got me a new Mario shirt. Actually, I should wear that one. I haven't worn it on stream yet. It's a new shirt. It's neat because when they got it for me, they're like, we got you one you don't own yet? I'm like, no, I don't have this one. I love it. Thank you. They gave it to me as an early Christmas present on Sunday, and it's cool. Easy to shop for me. I mean, nobody needs to buy me anything, but easy to shop for me because it's like video game shirt, size medium, GameStop gift card, eShop card. Yeah, that's about right. You can't go wrong with that. Build a PC better. I've been Nintendo plus PC for many years, never looked back. That's pretty cool. Next MMO game is coming next year. Scars of Honor. Visually, it's incredible how close they got to the PS5 version. That's where I first played it, and Square Enix did a great job with this port. We got 30 likes. Heck yeah. Nintex 2 Dope. Hello, it's the Paul Gale Super Show. Hey, Nintex 2 Dope. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. How's it going today? Next time you gotta go for Gandalf looking beard. You shall not pass. Could you imagine? Oh, you know what I didn't do? Oh, why didn't I think of it? I must have thought of it and forgot. But maybe it was a little bit too ambitious, or I could have done Ganondorf. When I had the beard, before I shaved, so I dyed it gray and black to do Kratos. I dyed it like silver gray for Logan. I trimmed it down the middle to be, more typical Wolverine. But I could have nuked it all red, but then that would also entail me face painting my face green. I already face painted my face white for Kratos to also do it green. But yeah, I could have pulled off a Ganondorf. Eyebrows temporarily red, beard red, head hair red, face paint green. Oh, okay. If I get the beard back to the level that I had, let's see. Ganondorf of this type. Yeah, he has the Abe Lincoln. Meaning he doesn't have the mustache. So yeah, I guess the order would have been film Kratos, film Ganondorf, film Logan, because once you shave this in particular, this in Logan, you couldn't pull off Kratos anymore or Ganondorf anymore. Okay, so next mini goal, maybe. If I get the beard back, which it doesn't have to necessarily be 3 months, 3.5 months, 108 days, because that made it a pretty beefy beard. But I think even at like the 7-week mark ish or something like that, like a little bit past halfway maybe of that 108-day journey, it's already a pretty good looking beard. Maybe I do Ganondorf. Oh, that means a lot of green face paint, probably down to the shoulders. Like for Kratos, I went down to like chest with a little bit of the red also. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, Gandalf and Ganondorf. How's Peach? Peach is doing well, thank you. She's doing good. She's sleeping. Happy holiday, says Johan Nintendo News. Happy holiday. Why didn't you do it? I don't know. Just, you can't think of everything at once, I guess. Ganondorf would have been awesome, yeah. It's not too late to throw it back out for the Zelda movie. Grow it back, yeah. Boy, if I didn't shave from now until, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Until the Zelda movie, until that 2027 May. Oh, that would be way long. That'd be funny. Well, next year is Zelda's 40th. The opportunity is still there. It's true. Pokemon Fan 34 says yes. Small little man. Hello there. Tabby Cat Games, yes. Suavemente short. Oh well, yeah. You know what? I hear something real quick. I think it's Peach. Hang on a second. Alrighty. Paul doing the suavemente would be incredible. Yes. Let's take a look at this poll, by the way. So, ironically, I thought this would be the. I guess I was right in that the other things topped it overall, but wrong in that this last pick was the number one most popular pick. Are you going to buy Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrade on Nintendo Switch 2? 28% of the people said, no, it's not for me. But 52% are getting it. So that is the overall winner, with half of those people, 26% of the overall audience today, saying yes, and you already own it. So that's a good quarter of the people here double dipping, a quarter of the people saying yes, and it'll be my first copy. So 26%, quite a bit. And then a fifth of you, 21% basically, says maybe. But yes, we'll try the demo. So that bodes pretty well. 72% of you at least have an interest in the game. How will it sell? We'll see. This is going to be an interesting one, by the way, because like Cyberpunk 2077, the game is 5 years old. Like Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrade and Cyberpunk 2077, I should say, the game now is an improved version of what it was when it first launched. Very different. Cyberpunk 2077 was a little rough around the edges when playing on last generation hardware, in a PS4 and Xbox One. It performed better on Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. But even then, it took a while for more patches to come out, improved patches to come out, next gen update to come out, DLC to come out, a Nintendo Switch 2 version to come out with a whole bunch of DLC and refinements and being as perfect of a port as CD Projekt Red could create. FF7 Remake's journey was a little bit different because you had your PS4 version, you had your PS4 version when played on a PS4 Pro or PS5 would be upped. Then you had your Yuffie DLC and your Remake Integrate version built specifically to utilize PS5's processing power, hardware, extra visual boost. And then now that's the version that you're getting on Nintendo Switch 2, which is like the souped up version, more so than it was. But at the end of the day, it's still a 5-year-old game. The difference this generation that I'm noticing is that these 5-year-old where Wii U got Batman Arkham City that was already a couple of years old at that point. More people are more hyped for these newer games now that are still a little bit older based off of when they came out on other consoles than what Wii U. Like, more people basically moved on from Batman Arkham City and the cool factor of it being on Wii U, even with its new electric shocking powers and stuff like that, and gamepad implementation. Whereas folks are like, oh no, Cyberpunk 2077, Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrade, Street Fighter 6, this is really cool to have on NS2. Maybe because it's that much more impressive of a game to also have completely on a portable console, so the nature of Nintendo Switch 2 is more attractive than what Wii U was. Yeah. But it overall bodes well for Nintendo. What also bodes well, by the way, is 60 people watching now. Thank you so much for being here. If this is your first time watching one of these streams, and if you're curious, what's this stuff over here? We have a goal status. Obviously, it's a free channel. It's a free show, free stream. But whenever we get, $64 in contributions, whether they are super chats or subscriptions, gifted subs, what have you, I give something back to the community. Sometimes it's a $10 eShop card. Today, it will be, if we hit it, an estimated $22 value triple pack set of the Super Mario 3D All-Stars coins, courtesy of Roger Enyart. So I just wanted to shout that out because since we had a whopping 60 people watching at one point, that might be made up of a good amount of first-timers. So there you go. Modern games are aging better as well. We've really hit a ceiling when it comes to graphical fidelity, and FF7 Remake proves that once again. Yeah, you could improve the resolution and go 4K and just get more crisp and more clear. You could improve the frame rate and have a lock solid 60, or maybe some games hitting 120, which is even more smooth, but how much more necessary is it? I don't know. To each their own, I suppose. But the CPU and how advanced a game is in terms of its destructible environments, the CPU behind the characters, the artificial intelligence, the NPCs, the characteristics, the overall vision and the size and the scope, they've kind of hit a level where games of yesteryear, game hardware of yesteryear could have still seen some of those visions. We're just looking at better visual fidelity. I actually wouldn't mind the industry stop chasing a higher frame rate and a higher resolution. Like, please don't use next generation hardware, CPU, GPU. Don't tap the GPU to be like, now we're running 8K at 120. Yeah, no. Gosh, for all I care, keep it at between 1440p and 4K. Keep it at a solid 30 to a solid 60, and make the games look better. Don't push for more clarity or more smoothness beyond 4K, beyond 60 frames per second. Push for better graphics, better lighting, better shadows, better textures, better bump mapping. More sophisticated AI, bigger, more fleshed out worlds, different fun elements within the gameplay, cooler stories, bigger, better orchestral soundtracks, better voice acting, more fun games, better utilization of analog control and rumble technology and stuff like that. Use the CPU and the GPU on that instead of more frame rate, more resolution. 4K is already clear. 60 frames per second is already smooth. Because, like JView said, look at FF7 Remake. That's done on a machine from 2013. That's a 12-year-old piece of tech. And that game still looks good. Look at God of War Ragnarok. Can you really say that the PS5 version is that much better looking than the PS4 version, which is 12-year-old tech? We've already hit a point of like pretty darn good graphics. The fact that Nintendo Switch 2 is this good and also portable and has DLSS, which has yet to be unlocked, is like, dude, this thing is future-proofed for a good several years. Yeah. Paul, random question for discussion. If Twilight Princess were to get a sequel, what would you want that to look like? Oh boy. Like that E3 2011 tech demo. I want a Zelda game to look like that. Whether it is a Twilight Princess remastered version that's more than the Wii U version ported over, like unlock the type of visual fidelity in that demo, or an actual sequel, make it look like that demo. Which means I'm okay with a smaller Zelda game. I don't need as big of a map as Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild. I'm okay with some less geometry and exploration in favor of this jaw-dropping world with fun gameplay, with cool magic and swords and an epic story and cool fight mechanics and something unexpected for Link to do. But to basically look like that. And, you know, not to say spoiler warning, but to revisit Midna. I mean, the game's 19 years old at this point. It came out 2006. Shouldn't be too much of a spoiler at this point, but just in case. To revisit and stuff like that. Twilight Princess would be a really cool game to dive back into that world. Did he mute? No. It's on YouTube's end. Refresh. Exactly. QHD/4K is plenty good enough for what we need as consumers. Make optimization great again. Better and more expansive art/game design. Yeah. 1440p is enough, but should not be the baseline. The baseline is 60 frames per second. Has been since 2005. I mean, hey, I say, if developers of the future that are releasing games on consoles in 4 years from now, if you could hear me, stick to 4K, stick to 60 frames per second, and make your games look and be awesome. Don't be like, we've got to push for 8K and then go back down to 30 frames per second, or we're going to do 4K, same graphical fidelity, but at 120 frames per second. No, keep the 4K, keep the 60, and put everything else up. 4K is clear enough. 60 is smooth enough. There you go. That's my take. We are at the point that there really isn't that much of a reason to upgrade tech too much, and the upgrades have diminishing returns. Yeah. It really comes down to, is the studio that's utilizing this new tech, utilizing it well enough to justify the need to make it on new hardware? Like, could Nintendo have seen their vision come true with Donkey Kong Bonanza on Nintendo Switch? Probably overall, but not to the extent that they truly did with the destructible environments and how much you could do and how much chaos could be handled, how good it would look, how smooth it would run, etc. Could a version of Mario Kart World have been pulled off with a lesser fidelity, maybe some fewer characters, courses a little bit smaller, a little bit less on the item sides going on screen and stuff like that. Yeah. Could Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment been pulled off? But alright. Lower frame rate, lower resolution, lower amount of characters on screen, a little bit of a more nerfed multiplayer mode, but overall, that type of game, yeah, it could have been pulled off. Obviously, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, Pokemon Legends ZA, pulled off on last generation hardware. But what I don't doubt is the upcoming titles, like when Nintendo does their next big Zelda, their next big Mario, I have a feeling that there'll be enough oomph, enough extra sauce that no, it's not just, yeah, this could have been pulled off on Nintendo Switch, just a little bit less good looking. No, I'm pretty sure they're gonna be like, this couldn't have been done, or it would have been way too drastically different of a vision that like, no, this totally justifies the need of this new hardware, all this extra RAM, these more expansive CPU, GPU clocks, etc. Hopefully Pragmata gets their demos out to consoles early next year. The sooner the better, because it's been getting great feedback on Steam so far. Yeah, I haven't played it, but I'm happy to hear that it's been positively received on Steam so far. Yeah, too many sacrifices would have been made to justify making them on Switch 1. The hardware needed an upgrade, yeah. Nintendo typically doesn't just upgrade new hardware unless if it's, we have a new vision of one of our games, we need new hardware to unlock this vision's potential. Yeah. Also, future devs, please optimize your games before releasing them. I'd love not to have over 50% of my system's memory taken up by the majority of leftover files. Oh, yeah, file sizes. File sizes are like the enemy of the day. Bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah. Wii U was the last disc-based system that allowed you to play modern gaming on your console natively off the disc without mandatorily uploading the disc's content or downloading anything to play the game. Save for like Xenoblade Chronicles X, right? Which had some highly recommended patches to download to optimize the experience. Otherwise, yeah, beginning with PS4 and Xbox One, there went taking up your hard drive, whether you were a physical or digital owner. Nintendo Switch, I got to give it a lot of props. Overwhelming vast majority of that software, you bought it on a cartridge. That was it. There were certain things like Doom where, yeah, you got the game on cartridge, but the multiplayer maps were a download. That's a fine trade-off. I don't mind that. Nintendo Switch 2, definitely capable of running games off of the cartridge, but due to file sizes and costs, you're seeing more games just come out as a key card or as a digital download. I wouldn't mind, games coming out on that 64 gigabyte cartridge and then having to download another 12, because that would still give me most of the game and take up less space. Instead, it's like, nope, here's a 76 gig download that you have to have. Not in every case, but more than not these days. That's why it's like a shout out to CD Projekt Red, for instance, for getting the whole enchilada of Cyberpunk 2077 on one physical cartridge. Well, that kind of does it for news today. good seeing people raving about FF7 Remake on X. If you've never played it before, I think it's worth experiencing. It is a free demo after all. Unless if you know you don't like the game because you've played it before. Have some fun today and, download a free demo. Thank you all for watching the videos, the shorts. We're probably going to end the stream now. It's been a good stream. I'll answer the last couple of questions coming in, though. Graceful Requiem, will we see less and less games on cartridges for the Switch 2? I sadly think that that's going to be the case. I think there will be titles that still come out on cartridge, primarily from Nintendo, but also from third parties. But I do think that probably the further into the generation we get, as games get bigger and bigger, we'll see more game key cards and less pure cartridges. But maybe a little bit of wishful thinking is that there will be a slight shift and that developers are like, okay, let's see the fans put their money where their mouth is. Put their money where their mouth is, I guess that's the expression. They say they want a cartridge version. Here's our game for $60 on keycard, $60 on digital, $70 on cartridge. Day and date, all three, let's go. Are people willing to pay the $10 more? I think most would. But if it's $20 more, here is our new game for $70 digital, our new game for $70 keycard, our new game for $90 pure physical cartridge. Oof, a tougher pill to swallow for a lot of folks. But I could see some experimenting with that. You had Hades 2 was a good example. Game came out a couple of months early digital. For like $30 instead of $50. Made cheaper if you pre-ordered and if you use like GameStop, which has digital currency for less, and not having to pay tax on that physical cartridge. So you're looking at a difference of like $27 to $55. It's like half. Or Mortal Kombat Collection, a month early on digital. Once again, like 30 or 40 versus 60. You're not paying tax on the digital, so it's quite a bit off. Some people will still say, no, I'd rather pay that much more for cartridge. For me, I was like, nah, Hades 2. I was originally planning on getting cartridge, but I couldn't justify the cartridge purchase of, I'm paying twice as much. Not just like $10 more. Twice. And getting it 2 months later. The 2 months later thing I could wait. Also, that's a particular game that only took up like 13 gigs of storage, so it's not like, it ate up 70, So, that one was just digital for me. But alright, everybody. That's the end of the stream. Roger Enyart, thank you for the 2. Corey Boehm, thank you for the 2. Ash Gaming 17, thank you for the 1. Thank you all for being here. Thanks for watching the shorts, the videos, helping Mario Galaxy get to over 110,000, helping Street Fighter get to over 1,500. We hit 90 minutes. That was a nice stream today. Take care. See you all soon for more. Tomorrow, Wednesday morning, we should have Matt Piscatella's Circana report, which will show us just what sold what in the month of November. And then on Thursday, we'll have the Famitsu sales report for the last week in Japan. That should also be pretty cool. And then we've got Friday, and then it's the weekend already. And then we've got Christmas like a week after that. And then it's New Year's. Gosh, what a fast 2025. But thank you all for being here. Steak1024, Tall Show. Folks dropping emojis in the chat. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good one. Thank you again, Tall Show, for buying Lee 6th Great Adventure. I'm glad to hear that you liked it. And yeah, that's it for now.